Hello. I'm going to tell you a little bit about a personal experience that I had. As I mentioned before, my background is in correctional nursing. That was the very first job that I had whenever I got out of nursing school, and I was terrified. But I learned so much from it. The prison that I worked at was an intake facility, and I worked in the intake department. There were different subcategories in the intake department, and I kind of worked in all of them at one point or another. The department that I was working in at the time was the department where we did physicals for the inmates that came in. One night, it was probably about 4:30 in the afternoon, I got a call from another member of the nursing staff in the intake department that said, hey, we got this new guy off the chain bus and he's got some wounds that he needs some wound care. We need to get him assessed. And they didn't have the area or the equipment to do it where they were doing the interviews, and asked if I could help out. And I said, of course. So they sent him across the boulevard to me. And I was in a room with a nurse practitioner at the time. And this man came in, and he was a paraplegic. He was in a wheelchair that was broken, and he had dragged holes in the tops of his socks where he didn't have anything to hold his feet up correctly, and he couldn't feel it. So it was just sad. So we got him in there, and I was confused as to how I was going to get him up on the exam table. And he said it wasn't a problem, that, he had learned how to adapt, and he got himself up there. As I was looking at his right foot, which was supposed to be the problem area, I noticed his left foot as well. So after I cleaned his right foot and addressed all the issues there, measured all of his wounds, did as much wound care as I possibly could, I asked him if I could see the left foot. And he said, no, that's really not an issue. It's just the right foot. And I said, will you just let me see it? And he said, why? It's just the right foot. And I said, just let me see it. Will you just let me wash it? He said, you would do that? And I said, yeah. And he started to weep, which made me weep. Nobody cries alone in my presence. So I tried to hold back my tears and my composure as much as I could. I washed his feet. I washed and cleansed every wound that he had. Was multiple. There were multiple wounds and multiple stages of healing, and he explained to me that he hadn't been able to take care of himself like he did when he was at home, because in the county jail it was overcrowded. There were no bathtubs, obviously, and he wasn't able to clean himself the way that he needed to while he was there. So he gave me a little bit of his background, and turns out there were all these people out in the free world that you and I live in that went out of their way to help him. There was a wheelchair that had been ordered for him and a pad that had been custom molded to fit him that was ready for him. Someone just needed to let that facility know where he was so it could be sent. So we got everything taken care of. We got everything measured. We got all that we could get done for him. We got it done that day. And as he was leaving, he asked if he could wash his hands, and I said, sure. Well, as it was the end of the day, we had already cleaned the office, we had already changed the garbage, everything, and we had just a new garbage bag laid over the side of the garbage can. And he washed his hands, and then as he went to throw it in the garbage can, he took the garbage bag out and fluffed it up and put it in the garbage can and threw it away, thanked me for my time, and then he left. And I fell to pieces. And I thought, this is someone's son. This is someone's brother. This is someone's father. I can't imagine someone not taking 15 minutes out of their day to help him. Nursing is not for the weak at heart, and I was very emotional that day. The physician's assistant, nurse practitioner that was in the room with me had been an army doctor, so he had seen far worse things than what I had just encountered. And he assured me that that man was going to be okay, and just got me calmed down and everything. But that day really changed my life. It changed my outlook on nursing and just my outlook as a human being. So not only in the nursing field do you always have to remember to be kind, I try to make it a point as a human being to always be kind.